Hi there, and thank you so much for tuning into the very first episode of the Kenspiracy podcast. We actually recorded this episode way back in August of 2019, which feels about 3 decades ago. And we've been sitting on it while we were waiting for Ken's schedule to free up a bit so we could record future episodes. Because of that and the setting of our podcast, it might seem like we're making light of current global conditions, and I'd like to assure that's not the case. When we came up with the idea of setting our comedy podcast in a fake apocalypse where we were trapped in a bunker, we didn't see any of the current events in our society coming. Whether or not that makes this show timely or offensive is up for debate, but nevertheless, we'll be considering that as we move forward with the show in episode 2 and beyond. Also, any minor technical issues with our audio should be ironed out by episode 2. With that out of the way, let's get right into the very first episode of the Kenspiracy podcast.
Hello world, welcome to Kenspiracy, your source for the end of the world news. I'm Ken Driftwood, and with me always is William Cornelius.
Close.
Yes.
Close.
Sorry, I always
Corvis.
I always
It's
forget.
good. It's good. We've been underground for 2 years together, but yeah, it's fine.
Cornelius, Corvis,
It's
Cornflake. I'm sorry.
No, I get it. There's a lot of people in this bunker that you work with. You have to keep track of. I get it.
Are you gonna start this now? You're gonna start this now. All right. I see your name one time. I say it wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's every episode. It's every episode that you say it wrong.
Well, have you thought about changing your name? I'm just throwing that one out there. It's the end
My
of the world.
mother gave me the last name. I guess it would be my father. My father gave me the last name Corvis. And by God, that's my last name.
It's a good name. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Kenneth.
Driftwood.
Driftmick?
That's insensitive. We know it's Ken Driftwood McGee. And with me always is
You got it.
William
Yeah.
Crackerjack Cornflake McGinnis Corvis.
Ken, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. I'm excited for another episode.
I am too. It's our 342nd episode for those who are just joining us. Maybe this is some people's first episode, but for us, it is our 342nd.
And to those that this is your first episode, what are you doing?
Weird time to join.
Yeah. So many episodes and you're starting now?
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
Yeah. They're wiling out, one would say.
Yeah, well, it's the apocalypse after all.
Mm-hmm. Anything's okay in the apocalypse. You can do anything you want.
There are no laws, but what have you done?
Nothing I want to admit to a microphone. I'll tell you that.
You gonna tell me later?
Yeah, I didn't pay my taxes.
You just said it on.
Oh, we're recording. My bad. Hit delete. Is that how this works?
I left it in and doubled it. It's in there twice now.
Good.
Ken, what do you say we get to some news?
News. Because
That's what the people are here for.
Yes.
The breaking news updates on life in the apocalypse.
Because that's the problem with the end of the world is you don't know what's going on.
You don't.
But we are here for you.
How are we? This is on pirate. I know this is our 342nd episode, but I always forget. Pirate radio?
Yes. We are on legal pirate radio, if anyone asks.
Well, it's everything legal in the apocalypse, as you just covered.
Yeah, I didn't pay my taxes. Mm-hmm.
And I tripled it now. I put it in again. A third declaration of you
Go for one more.
not paying your... It's in there again.
Yeah, I didn't pay my taxes.
They just heard it again.
Mm-hmm. The mayor of not Niagara Falls stated that she, for one, is happy about our ongoing apocalypse, stating that when tourists come to the city now, they assume the rundown houses, pothole-ridden roads, and overall poor condition of each neighborhood was caused by the bombs and zombies, and not the years of financial mismanagement, corrupt politicians milking the city for everything it's got. Some researchers state that the city of definitely not Niagara Falls, don't sue us, has had a 15% increase in tourism since the general population of the United States has grown used to the smell of death in the air.
And I just want to stress, we're not talking about Niagara Falls. This is the city of not Niagara Falls.
Yeah, we're definitely not talking about Niagara Falls.
And you can't sue us because the city's called not Niagara Falls.
Correct.
Our one lawyer, Jeff.
Good guy.
He's okay.
He's all right.
I don't love him. I'll be honest. But it's hard to come across a lawyer in the apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
Our lawyer, Jeff, has assured me. That one.
He also sells insurance.
He is insured and assured me that we're good to go on this story. Also, our reporting is always accurate and always truthful. As always, my coworker, Ken, has assured me, he does not sell insurance, assured me that all of these stories are 100% true and factual.
Yes, I fact-checked every single thing we talk about.
And I leave it all to him. I just assume that he's doing a great job.
Yes, I've recently been to not Niagara Falls, and let me say, oh boy, it's not a fun place.
Yeah, but where is a fun place in the apocalypse, you know? Disney World's still okay.
Mm-hmm.
The lines are shorter. It's too bad they never opened Star Wars Land, though. That's the real bummer.
We'll never know what it was like.
We'll never know what it was like.
I bet the Grand Canyon's doing all right. I haven't made my way out there
I
yet.
heard they filmed it.
With what?
I don't know. I heard you don't want to know.
That makes me sad.
Yeah. Now it's just land.
Land.
The Land Canyon.
The Grand Land.
The Grand Canyon.
Well, like before they filled it, it would have been a great place for Tony Hawk to drop in on.
Here we go again. You gotta bring up Tony Hawk every week.
Well, like the people should know, he's still skating around.
Yeah, but I don't know. Ever since he grew that third arm, it's kind of cheating.
He can do hand flips like no one's business.
It just feels like cheating, Ken.
It's the apocalypse. Everything's cheating. We're cheating death right now.
I'm aware.
News.
90% of the remaining members of humanity issued an apology to doomsday preppers across the nation today, stating that they were wrong for making fun of them and doubting the inevitable end of our society as we know it. Across the globe, people could be seen sticking post-it notes with heartfelt apologies on the doors of bunkers. One note read, "I'm sorry I picked on you and said you were a crazy whack job with no sense of reality and that you were going to die alone with no purpose. I was wrong. Now please, Carl, please share some of your canned goods. My second head is a growing boy. Please." According to local sources, most of the apology notes will go unread due to the fact that those in their own private bunkers really have no good reason to leave. Ken, what's your take on private bunkers?
Well, you kind of found your way into my private bunker, and every day I wonder how. So I'm thinking I need to invest in better locks.
Now, that's not true. I was over watching This Is Us, and the apocalypse occurred, and you were going to send me home. It would be a very rude thing to do as a host.
I like how you say, I could have sent you home, when I did try to send you home multiple times by saying...
Yeah, but you'd be so rude as a host.
Yeah. I just constantly look at all my canned goods and all the peaches you've eaten, and it just makes me really sad.
Okay, well, one, I love peaches, and you know that.
It's true.
You love peaches. I love peaches. You're gonna keep all the peaches for yourself? That doesn't seem right. And two, in an apocalypse, where are we without our manners? You know, we're no better than the scavengers outside without our manners. That's what separates us from the scavengers.
Says the person who helped themselves to my bunker. I'm just saying, like every day.
You know, I was here. I brought over This Is Us that night. I brought over season 1 and 2 on DVD. I didn't get a thank you.
I'm going to do some news before I get upset that you're still in my bunker.
You remember This Is Us?
No.
Good show.
It had that guy from Holes in it, right? Or Heroes. Right? Am I wrong? Was he in Heroes or Holes?
Are you talking about Milo?
Yeah.
You went for Heroes and not Gilmore Girls?
Yeah.
I don't even know who you are.
Was he
anymore.
in Holes?
No. He was in Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, he was cousin Jesse.
I'm gonna cut all this. News.
Local man is convinced his dog secretly possesses the soul of Edward Loomis Davenport, a semi-successful theater performer from 1861, who was known for his small roles in Shakespearean plays. John Tucker, the dog's owner, stated that any time he looks at this 3-year-old dog named Busby, he gets this painful sensation that Edward Loomis Davenport is lustfully staring at him. Mr. Tucker confirmed with local news that he does not yet have any evidence to prove his claims, but when he does, he will do the right thing and eat his dog. Because, as we all know, it is only acceptable to eat a dog if the dog is possessed with the soul of a theater performer from the 1800s.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
If you eat a dog and there is not a soul of an 1800s theater performer, you'll go to prison. Even in the apocalypse.
Yep.
They don't fuck around with that.
Before we said that there are no laws, that was actually
there's one
that
law.
was the one law.
We didn't state it because everyone knows.
Yeah, it's the Doe law. Everyone knows.
Yeah, everyone knows. Eat a dog, go to prison.
Eat a dog with the soul of a theater performer from the 1800s.
You're good.
You're good.
It's smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to prove the souls in there.
See, that's what most people don't do, Will, is they just claim it. You have to prove it.
You have to prove it. A lot of people go to prison because they can't prove it.
Yes.
Yeah, they just eat their... It's the apocalypse, you know. You're going to eat canned peaches the whole time? You can't.
Well,
you can't because you run out because someone didn't buy enough before the apocalypse.
Some of us eat canned peaches. There's enough for one person.
There would be enough for 2 if you had shopped before.
I did shop. I shopped for one person.
If you had shopped for 2.
I didn't know I was going to have a house guest who turned into a house rat who just hung out.
Roommate
for
is
years.
Probably a good term. Roommate.
What do you do to the bunkers? All I'm saying.
I dust. I've dusted.
Doesn't look like it.
I will dust. I have the capacity to dust.
I'm just saying, you know.
We're out of pledge.
Actions say more than words. Oh, they're out of pledge. I got a rag over there. You just spit in the rag. Just spit in the rag and dust.
It sounds really sexual.
Yes, it is. You can check out my new book about dusting called Spit in the Rag.
It's not about dusting, is it?
A certain kind of dusting.
Now it's time for one of our favorite segments of the week, the radioactive check-in. It's like what the weather used to be, but much more important. Ken, hit us with that radioactive check-in.
Well, thank you. As I look out the window, I can see we're still living in a living hell. Things aren't great. They're not doing good. The goldfish I keep in my room grew 3 heads, each one with 1 eye. And it keeps making Will jealous since he only has 2 eyes.
It's true. I want 3 eyes, even if it was 1 eye per head. 3 eyes, better than 2. That's just true.
But there is some good news. My athlete's foot, it's completely gone. I'm not sure if it's the radiation or just good luck, but either way, I'll call it a mixed bag.
Oh, that's pretty promising to hear. I'm happy about your athlete's foot.
Thank you. It's gone on all 4 of my feet.
Oh my God, I didn't see those.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't see 4 footprints because you haven't dusted.
No, we're back in the dusting thing.
Sorry. We'll go.
I'll go do it right now. Is that what you? I'll go do it right now.
Wait, no, we need you to do the next segment.
Yeah, all right. That's fair.
Tonight's episode of Kenspiracy is brought to you by Avengers 18. Here we go again. A movie they keep on making, however, no one has asked for it. Avengers 18. Here we go again. And now, our annual weekly remembrance of Franz from Sweden.
I'd like to take this moment to remember our dearly departed friend and former colleague, Franz from Sweden. He was a good guy, and we really miss him. He's been gone for 37 consecutive weeks now, and hopefully someday, he'll reemerge in our lives and start stealing money from the IRS again. Here's to you, Franz from Sweden. You know, I never even found out where that guy was from.
I miss him.
And I hope somewhere he's out there stealing money from another government.
I'd like to think that there's a little part of him and all of us stealing money from another government.
That's a really nice, touching thing to say about our friend Franz.
Mm-hmm. He makes me happy.
Here's to you, Franz.
News.
Ohio man Clint Barker realized his home was about to be taken over by zombies and thought to himself, you know what? This would be the perfect time to clean the gutters. According to one of his neighbors, Mr. Barker was seen on top of an 8-foot aluminum ladder, pulling twigs and leaves out of the gutters of his beautiful, private, and economically friendly ranch-style home when a massive horde of zombies swept him away. Asked about the situation, Clint's now widowed wife Barbara gave us this statement. Well, he always said he would get around to cleaning the gutters, and I take peace in knowing my husband died an honest man. I just wish he had time to power wash the damn windows. If you know how to power wash windows, call me. I'm single. What do you think of that, Ken? You gonna reach out to Barbara?
I do have a power washer.
You have in your bunker?
Yes.
You have a power washer in this bunker?
Correct.
Why?
One would know that if they did some cleaning.
Okay. I see we're on a theme this week.
You just kept on setting them up for me, and I'm going to swing.
I have my complaints about you as a roommate, too.
Yeah?
Not enough peaches.
Yeah.
Millions of peaches.
I'm going to dive.
Peaches for free. Millions of peaches. Peaches for me.
Who's your favorite president of the United States?
The lead singer of President of the United States.
Me too.
Yeah. Travis Barker.
Yes.
Famous lead singer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's true. I read about it.
I promise you I will dust when we are finished with this episode.
Okay, I'll stop bringing up the fact that you never clean a bunker that you let yourself into.
You let me in that night. You opened the door and you had a box of pizza in your hand and you said, Will, I'm so excited for our This Is Us marathon. I love that guy. I think he was in Holes or Heroes. I mix those up all the time. I'm directly quoting you.
I looked it up. He is in Holes.
He is. You looked it up on what?
Yeah, I had a book and
encyclopedia.
Yes, and it said the guy from Heroes was also in Holes. He drove the bus.
He drove the bus
that let Shia LaBeouf.
This is Holes talk now. Welcome to Holes talk.
Yeah, into the desert. He drove that bus.
That's like a 1 second scene.
Yeah,
he's on camera for like 1 second.
Yeah, it's a cameo. He's a good friend with the director.
Wow.
I'm going to read a news story now.
I think we should spend more time talking about Holes.
We could make this a holes themed episode.
Right now, it's a cleaning themed episode. What's your favorite dusting spray? According to Ken, I've never used it.
So you don't have one.
This fucking
News?
News.
Breaking news. Pope Francis has lost his hat. Reports say that the Pope has looked everywhere for it, even retracing his steps, but has had no luck finding it. Our contact with the church, Bishop Craig, asked the Pope if he remembered where he left it, but the Pope had this to say: "If I remembered where I left it, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Now would we? Now help me look for it, Craig, or I will excommunicate you." Members of the Catholic Church were last seen putting up flyers offering a reward to anyone who manages to find the Pope's hat.
You know, Ken, there's been a lot of stressful news stories over the last 2 years since the end of the world. And I gotta say, this has been one of the most. I mean, there's been a lot of tragedy, but I can't think of a worse thing than the Pope losing his hat.
A good hat goes a long way.
And a great hat goes a long way.
That's what I always say.
Also, a long way too. Also,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah. So
Shakespeare said that.
Yeah. He had a good hat.
He had a great hat.
Yeah. What do you think the Pope's going to do without his hat? Do you think he's going to try on different hats and have like a montage and all the bishops?
Oh, and it's set to "I'm too sexy."
Yes. Yeah. And they're like, "Ooh, I don't like that hat." And
oh,
then
they're drinking wine.
Yeah.
They're on the couch and they're like, not that one.
There's a sexy hat and kind of like a
goofy
shot.
hat.
Yeah,
Ooh, there's one. It's big.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm receiving an update from our unpaid intern. Get out of here. Get. God, fuck, interns, right? Wow. The Pope has found his hat.
What?
Yeah.
How? Where was it?
It was on his head the whole time.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know that's on Bishop Craig.
It really is
Yes.
on Bishop Craig.
Mm-hmm.
You think, do you think he was being sarcastic when he asked the Pope, like, do you remember where you left it?
Yeah, like to a certain point, we blame Bishop Craig, but the Pope should have checked.
I mean, the Pope should have just reached his two hands up. I mean, that's a big hat.
It's a big hat.
Pat the air above your head.
Mm-hmm.
I did that motion, but this is an audio format, so you can't see it.
Yes, it is.
Visual jokes are probably my favorite kind of podcast jokes.
Yes, slapstick humor on a podcast variety is what I'm down for.
Ken slipped on a banana a couple minutes ago, and I think that was probably the funniest joke of the episode.
Mm-hmm. And I put a big pie in Will's face.
I'm still getting it off,
but no one laughed. Sadly,
they couldn't see it.
They couldn't see
it. You know, Ken, this has been a pretty heavy episode, so I think it's time we turn our attention to one of our favorite segments on the show. Hey, who's that?
Oh, hey, it's Cornelius Jacob Zune Dremel, the inventor of the first navigable submarine. That's neat.
That's pretty crazy. Wow. I assume he's reanimated.
Yeah, look at him. He's just walking around.
Just stumbling around. He is missing some skin.
Yeah, but he's feeding the birds.
Where'd he get the bread?
Where did he get the birds?
Both good questions, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's just having a good time.
Good for Cornelius. Good for Cornelius.
You know, he deserves it. He did a lot.
He made a submarine.
Mm-hmm, the first one.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. Tonight's episode of Kenspiracy is sponsored by Dirt. Dirt. It gets everywhere. Dirt. Now it's time for my favorite part of the show, where we remember the arts. We dig through the crates of forgotten gems and really cinema that mattered.
Hi, it's me, your host, William Corvis. Today on Classica Cinema Corner, we've decided to feature a film that is often called a film that came out in 1993, Surf Ninjas. Starring Ernie Reyes Sr., Ernie Reyes Jr., and a young Rob Schneider, Surf Ninjas tells the story of three teenagers who are attacked by ninjas, only to realize they can control the world around them with a Sega Game Gear. Yes, this movie is real. I don't know why no one talks about it. Filled with characters, sets, and props, this film was one I watched with my eyes. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. Ken, have you ever seen Surf Ninjas?
I think I saw the second one that went right to DVD, but I could be wrong.
It's that one. I think they use a Game Boy Pocket.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
And they play Tetris. Mm-hmm. It's 90 minutes of Rob Schneider playing Tetris.
That's not enough minutes of Rob Schneider playing Tetris.
I'd watch an epic, a 5-hour epic.
Now, would you want any audio to Rob Schneider
No.
playing Tetris?
Silent film. I want that black and white silent film. Maybe like an old piano.
Now, where do you want the camera? Do you want it on Rob Schneider, like a tight shot of his face?
I want him in the corner of the frame and out of focus.
Yes, the way Rob Schneider should be.
That's how you make cinema.
Yes.
We're about at the end of our show, but as always, we like to wrap up with a segment we call Things We Miss, where we talk about things we miss from the pre-apocalypse days.
Reruns of Home Improvement.
Driving around at 3 a.m. looking for your dog cream cheese because she got out for the 3rd time this week.
Pouring glue on your hands and then peeling it off.
Leg day.
Butter.
Those tiny swords that are in cocktails and normally have an olive on them.
Thank you all for tuning in on another great episode of Kenspiracy, where we report you the news of the apocalypse.
I gotta say, Ken, I'm pretty hungry after that good episode we just did.
Hey, Will, what's in your hand?
Oh, I like to finish every episode with a quick snack, so I have. I think this is one of the last cups of peaches.
I just vaguely remember us having a conversation that you weren't going to eat the peaches.
Yeah, no, I know, but I really like peaches.
Well, tune in for next episode. Will might not be here.
These are some really good peaches.
I'm Ken.
And I'm Will.
And this has been Kenspiracy. Tonight's episode of Kenspiracy is brought to you by Chico Sticks. Chico Sticks, the coconut peanut butter candy no one asked for. Chico Sticks.